Welcome to the Robert C. Williams Museum of Papermaking Paper Play Activities. Today, we'll be learning how to make paper succulents. For today's activity, you will need some green paper, scissors, liquid glue, and an optional cup and toothpick or straw to help us glue our succulent together. For our paper, I recommend using some textured paper, such as this one right here, so that when we do make our succulent, we can see the textures and it'll be more realistic. Origami paper, cardstock, copy paper all work for this activity as long as it's not too thin. For glue, you are also welcome to use a glue stick, but if you're using thicker paper like cardstock, it's probably best that you do use liquid glue. So the first thing we want to do is to cut our paper into different size strips. So here I have 3 different size strips and a circle. So this succulent is based on a 3.5 diameter circle. So if you have a bigger circle or a smaller circle, you may need more or less of each strip of paper. So the first size we're going to need for our 3.5 centimeter diameter circle are 5 strips of 11 by 2 centimeters, 5 strips of 8 by 1.5 centimeters, and 4 of 5 by 1.5 centimeter strips. Once we have these strips, we're going to start to fold them into our leaves. So I'm going to start with my bigger leaves first. So I want to first fold this in half, not all the way, but just at the center, and then fold it halfway again so that it kind of looks like a bow tie. And once we're done with that, I'm going to start twisting around the middle about 3 times. And once we've done that, we're going to open up the right flap and then fold over the top flap so that it fits in the bottom one, just so. Just like this. So here you can see the little knot that we just made, and then here is the rest of our leaf. So I'll show it one more time. You're going to first want to fold it in half just at the center. Fold it once more at the center. Twist at the center a couple times, more than twice. It can be 3, 4, or 5 times. And then fold over one leaf on top of the other. Now the shape you want to get is to create a little tiny knot at the edge right here and to create a wide open leaf on the other side. And now we're going to do this to all of our paper strips that we cut out. Another thing to keep in mind while twisting our paper is that if your paper is very, very thick, like cardstock, or a lot thinner, like very thin origami paper, you might want to be careful while twisting since it may rip the paper. So that's why we're folding it twice before we twist it. Once we finish folding all of our leaves, it's time to glue the tops and bottoms of our leaves together. So now I'm just going to bring my glue and portion some of it out in my cup. And I'm just going to take my straw or your toothpick, take some of that glue, and put a generous amount all over our leaf so that they'll stick well together. So once I've added my glue, I'll put my top leaf right on top of my bottom leaf and then stick them together so that they'll dry just like that. Now if you're using cardstock or any thicker paper that is kind of resisting the liquid glue, you can use a paper clip or maybe even one of these bigger clips to help your leaves stick together. So you can put a paper clip right on top to prevent the leaves from unsticking from each other. We're going to do that to all of our leaves. Once you finish gluing all of your paper, we're going to set it out to dry. And depending on how much glue you used and the thickness of your paper, this can take anywhere from 1 to 10 minutes. Once our leaves have finished drying, now it's time to shape them into actual leaves. So I'm just going to take one of my leaves and start trimming down the bottom portion of it so that we have a wide oval-like appearance, just like this. And we're going to do this for all of our leaves. Now that all of our leaves are ready, all we have to do is assemble our paper succulent. So I'm going to bring back the glue that I just used. And you can glue the leaf on with your toothpick or straw, but I like to just dip the edges of my leaf into the glue first. So I'll just dip just the edge a little bit, like this, and then place it on my circle. When you're gluing the leaves down, make sure that at least half of the leaf is within the circle. Our big outer leaves should cover up all of our circle. And now with our middle-sized leaves, we're going to just put them right on top. And we're going to put them in between two of the bigger leaves. So this one is going right in between those two. And then last but not least, our small leaves are going to make up the core part of our succulent. So we're going to take 3 of the leaves and do something similar to what we just did. So I'm just going to put them right where they intersect with the 2 of the bigger leaves on the layer below them. And now with my last smallest leaf, I'm going to take some glue and then add it right to the middle of it so that I can roll this up into a very, very small piece. And once it's basically almost a little knot, I'm going to add some glue on the bottom of it and then place it right there in the center. And there we have our paper succulent. And the sizes that we just made fit right on top of our origami flower pots. And so if you want to make a succulent for a flower pot that you created, you just have to make sure that the bottom circle is the same size as, no larger than this bottom square you see here. So as you can see, my circle is very similar in size to the bottom of my pot. So that's it! We've made our paper succulents. We hope you enjoyed this activity and thank you for joining us for Paper Play!